Agenda is coming to you live from the Sacred Heart Cathedral. The reason why we've chosen this location is because when the Pope Francis made a statement about the gay community, it also had a lot of echoes here in India. In fact, we have on our show today the Cardinal Oswald Gracias, who has been saying something similar to him for quite some time now. We'll be speaking with him. But also there's another development. When the courts open after vacation tomorrow, a new petition will be moved against the Section 377, which criminalizes gay sex. It's been moved by several members of the gay community. Joining us will be one of the petitioners to talk about why they decided to come out and file this separate petition which equates gay rights with the right to life. The Cardinal, the Archbishop of Mumbai, Cardinal Oswald Gracias, joining us from Mumbai. We also have here with me Father Savary Muttushankar, who is the spokesperson of the church over here. Sunil Mehra joins us from Chandigarh. He is one of the petitioners of the new petition against 377, which is being filed in the Supreme Court and being heard tomorrow. And we also have Vivek Diwan, who is a lawyer and gay rights activist, joining us as well. Cardinal Oswald Gracias, if I can start with you, sir. I've been reading a lot of your statements. You've been traveling a lot as well. You have said in the past that 377 should be struck down and it should be decriminalized. Now that a new petition is coming up in Supreme Court, sir, will the church not be opposing their petition anymore, sir?
My own opinion on this, I've said that before, is that Article 377 really is not something which should be on the statutes. I would wish if it was repealed, because I do feel that we should not criminalize these acts. The church does hold that these are not correct morally, but this does not mean that they should go to prison for these acts. So my mind is very clear on this, and I think that's would be the church's stand also.
When you heard the Pope make these statements just a couple of days ago, sir, what do you think it meant for all his followers in India? Did it change anyone's mind, sir? Because it's been heralded quite a lot across the world.
Yes, yes. You see, the Pope has said what he's been saying before, and I think that's the Church's teaching, that people with a different sexual orientation should not be ill-treated, should not be prejudiced against. I certainly feel I'm 100% in agreement with what the Holy Father said, that these are, you can't blame a person if he has a sexual orientation which God has given him, and therefore he should be free to express it. But we are not speaking of the act. I want to make it clear. The Church does say that homosexual acts, etc., are not correct morally, but does not mean at all that we should start using civil law to punish them. We should not discriminate against them. We should not put them out of society. We should accompany them and help them to be totally integrated in society and to live a normal life.
So it's an important distinction that you make there. I just wanted to take it across to Sunil Mehra, who is one of the petitioners tomorrow. Sunil Mehra, when you hear the Archbishop of Mumbai say this, what comes to your mind? Are you hopeful or are you still wary?
I'm a bit surprised actually with a Pope who's an apology to gay people for the Archbishop to say it's not morally right or whatever, though I do like his rather patronizing sort of statement about how they should not be criminalized and they should be allowed to come to the right path, to lead normal lives. I mean, who decides what is the normal, what is abnormal, or what is normal here? Everybody is God's own creature, and the Pope seems to admit that. So I don't see why the Pope is so progressive and the Archbishop is so regressive.
No, I do not want to be aggressive.
In any case, this is much larger than the Christian church for me.
Exactly.
Okay.
I would not
As I
impose
see
our
it,
own morality
it's
on
as
others.
I see it. If I may finish what I'm saying. If I may finish what I'm saying.
Yes, yes. Sure.
All I'm saying is, it's a question of human dignity. It's a question of human rights. It's a question of social inequity, social justice. And it is not something which you need to be accorded. It is something which is your constitutional right. On the shifting sands of political expediency, on which many executives are based, the courts have always been a lighthouse of objectivity and reason, and they've had some brilliant legislations in this country, and we're very hopeful that the court in its wisdom, if it has decided to reconsider something as regressive as this particular constitutional relic from the 1870s, which even Britain discarded in the 60s or 50s, then I see no reason why it should be on our books at all. You live in a different country, it's a different climate, socially, politically, morally, ethically, constitutionally.
Okay, Cardinal Gracias, did you want to add something to that?
So this is not about sexuality.
No, I want to repeat what I said before, that I certainly am for a repealing of this Article 377. I've insisted on the morality because sometimes some people might say that I'm compromising on the Catholic teaching. I am not compromising on Catholic teaching. I am repeating what the Church has always said, that there is morality, but certainly I would completely go with saying that they have got civil rights.
Cardinal, would you say the Pope is making an immoral statement?
No, certainly not.
Sir,
I am
would you say
within completely that we are.
the Pope
that
is
we are free to-
immoral when he wants to apologize to gay people, sir?
No, certainly not. What the Pope has said is that they should be treated exactly what I have said, exactly what the Pope is saying. Only I've added about the morality because some people
Why would he apologize,
sometimes
sir?
have misunderstood what I've said before. Because in the past,
Just bring
some
in
people
Vivek
have said
Divan over
that
here.
these are-
Vivek Divan, just explain to us. Vivek Divan, just explain to us the two petitions. Already, the legal position on this. Already, there is a curative petition that is pending, which was moved by the NAS Foundation and other organizations. Now we see petitioners like Sunil Mehra and others. And what's interesting is perhaps that for the first time, we are seeing petitioners who are also coming out, public people. Sunil Mehra is a journalist. Others we've seen Chef Ritu Dalmia, artists as well, all of them coming out and saying, we're gay and this is our right to life petition. So will the court, is there much more hope now against 377 with this fresh petition?
Well, I think,
I would really-
first of all, I just
May
want
I
to
interject
thank...
here? Do I have your permission?
Sir,
Do I have your permission to put in a small intervention?
please,
My humble submission is that on the basis of a preference, of a sexual preference, can you deny somebody the constitutional right, if he or she so pleases, to adopt, to transfer insurance, to bequeath legacy, to not be criminalized, to not be thrown into prison, to not be asked for bribes by policemen, to not be ostracized socially? That is what it's all about. It's not about sexuality. It's about constitutionality. It's about equal rights. And we really depend on the wisdom of the court. And frankly, this is a very evolved civilization. The Indian civilization, in its liberalism, predated the Victorian superstructure of the 1870s, which came to us when piano legs became piano limbs. So I don't see why, when they've thrown off their corset, we are still clinging to it for dear life. It's idiotic.
Yes, and that's why I
And the
wanted
court
Vivek
seemed to
Divan
agree.
to just
We have
explain to
tremendous
us
faith in the
how
judiciary.
this new petition will change things for us. Vivek Divan, go ahead.
Right. Well, you know, I think, first of all, I want to thank Sunil for his effort. I think we're ones who've been making this effort for several decades now. I was part of the team of queer activists and lawyers who filed this case in 2001. I think we were thrown out of court in 2013 on the most indefensible grounds. I think the court abdicated its responsibility to its citizens by saying that this is a job of Parliament. I'm glad that Sunil and others have revived this discussion. While this discussion has also we've attempted to continue that conversation with the court through the curative petition, as you mentioned. I do feel that, you know, if law has a role to play in this case, and if justice has a role to play in this case, we will come out victors as we did in 2009. Law and justice had nothing to do with the 2013 decision because they were waylaid by that judgment. Let's be very clear about this. I think it's time for the Supreme Court to take it on. I also want to say to your question about you know, people coming out, etc. People had come out in the previous petitions. People had filed affidavits in their names saying that we were queer people, we were gay, we were lesbian, we were trans people who were affected by this law. The court did not countenance this, even though it was argued before the court, so it did disservice to the people before it, actually. And it's time for the Supreme Court now, in its curative role, to actually solve this situation. It is an utter injustice. I want to say one more thing, because this is being framed in the context of the Pope, etc. I'm a queer person myself. I do not need any organized religion to tell me that I'm legitimate or not. What I do need is a constitutional democracy to tell me that I am equal to others. And that is what we've persevered to do in the right manner through the rule of law and exercising our rights since 2001 in that case of Naz. We have not taken to the streets. We have not been mobs. We have not, unlike others who claim to apparently be part of patriotic Indians, we have been, I think, trying to exercise our patriotism through a legitimate process, and we hope to see the light of day. I think Sunil's petition will add to that strength, and hopefully the Supreme Court will hear it in the next 6 months or so, and that we will see liberation.
Okay, we're going to take a short break now. When we come back, we'll hear
if
more
I
from
may.
Cardinal.
One last thing, if I may. One last thing, if I may.
We'll come back. Sunil, yeah, very quickly, we have to take a break, then come back to you.